going to work on keeping one hand in the middle to control. The grip that I prefer to do is kind of just a standard kind of grip, grabbing on the both lapels. The knuckles are kind of pushed forward just slightly. This is to stop him from being able to sit down and kind of break the posture with his hands. Obviously, there's always a problem with the legs breaking posture. So if I'm not engaged with my core, staying nice and strong, he pulls his knees to nose and we end up breaking posture. Okay. So I'm just going to get his grip for now. Hand just like I'm trying to go into his pocket. Elbow just here. And from this position, we're just going to stand 3 times in the switch. Okay. So once I start going into my standing position, it's really important I don't bring my knees over my centre line. If I bring my knees over the centre line, that's when Jay can start pulling these legs in and breaking my posture. So sit up nice and tall, hands in this position, and I'm just going to stand. Jay's going to keep his guard closed though. Okay, so here, making sure that my head always stays forward and nice and strong. And then I'm just going to go back down and then stand with the opposite foot. Okay, so here, keeping my posture up and I'm always looking up to the ceiling. Okay, so 3 times, and then Jay goes. He's going to get good news. That's the last time I'm going to stand in tonight's class unless you're doing sparring. Okay, so like I say, I like to spin. The other kind of alternate grip is these 3 fingers, so your turtle fingers on the inside like that. Some people prefer this kind of grip. I like that. I don't really like having kind of fingers just hanging. Okay, so from this position, I'm focusing on my posture, making sure that my nose doesn't go over my hip, and I'm not leaning any particular way. Jason tries to sit up and pull me down with his hands. That's helping me keep that control there. He brings his knees to nose. I'm just engaging my abs, my stomach. Okay. So once we get used to being in that position, Jason is just going to try and break my posture. I'm going to just try and stay in the same position. I switch my hand. But I'm keeping that nice, strong posture. If you're significantly stronger, or if the person hasn't worked out the posture just yet, don't just keep bringing them down. Talk them through and guide a little bit. But there's a little bit of resistance in now, so we're just practicing keeping that posture. So go. I'm just trying to keep that good posture. Make sure I can't break the posture. It's just testing to make sure that I'm able to stay up in this upright position. Okay. If your posture gets broken, that's fine. Just reset. Okay. Go again. If you keep breaking your partner's posture, tell them what they're doing wrong, and I'll come around as well. Okay. So let's just do a little bit of testing and make sure our posture is nice and strong. Okay. On 3. 1, 2, 3. Is just being in this kind of more upright position. Okay. So we've already had a look at standing, which is kind of another thing which we'll move on to. It'll definitely help us with our passing and also kind of limit their attacks as much. It doesn't. We have to kind of practice a few things, or we have to be sure on a few things so we don't get swept and stuff. But here, saw some people with really good posture. A lot of people when the shoulders are back a little bit and the head's up, the posture's not getting broken. A few of us are still kind of rounding our back off a little bit and having a head forward. This is going to make it much easier to break posture. Okay, so from this position here, all I'm going to do is I'm going to create an L shape. Okay, so this is how I teach guard passing from day 1. I teach everyone this because it doesn't matter what belt you are, at some point you get stuck in guard and you forget about the L shape stuff. Okay, so here, hand in the middle, posture's nice and high. I'm going to take one knee so it's in line with his spine, in towards his bum, and then I'm going to sit back. Okay, posture's still up. Now once we get into this L shape, my hands don't need to be as far over, so I'm just going to adjust a little bit, either grab the belt or the pants, and from here, I'm just going to push my bum back a little bit, and that's what's going to open the guard. Okay? So here, good posture to start off with. This knee's going to go in line with his spine. The other knee's going to point out, so I'm creating this L shape. His legs are now strained a little bit because of the stretch. So I take my hand to here, I go on the belt or the pants, and I'm just going to push my bum backwards. Okay? You don't need to drive the elbows in, but we have that as a second option. So Here, 1, 2. Yeah, if I need to, I can push my elbow down as well, but that little bit of a movement with my bum backwards is what's going to help. As soon as we get in this position, straight into combat base. Okay, so without Jason, here, be in line with the bum, L shape, yep, sorry, wrong way around. Push my bum back a little bit, that should open the guard. If not, a little bit of pressure, then this knee goes up into our combat base position. Okay, let's just drill that nice and quick on 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so when I say knee line, the knee goes to butt. Okay, so when we're in this position, it's really important that that knee goes to there. Okay, so Jay can kind of defend this a little bit by taking his bum off of my knee. That's where we end up in have a bit of a problem where if we've only got an L-shaped pass. Okay, but for now, when we move that cross, that L, yeah, so my legs are like this now, which is creating the L, that's what's creating the strain here. I have to have my posture down and set my heels a little bit. If I do that, yeah, there's not going to be as much tension, but it's easy for Jason to go knees to nose now and break my posture. And from here, I've got a bit of a worse problem where I can start taking my back. Yeah, pulling across and climbing through. So we have to be really careful and control what's going on. So here, yeah, posture. Again, I don't need to press down with my elbow, I can just move my bum back a little bit and then this knee goes up. First pass we're going to look at is the knee over pass, just because it's a little easier to control. So my knee at the moment is facing Jay's nose. Okay, so I'm going to turn my knee out to face this way. Okay, so shin goes across, knee goes to mat, and this foot stays on the inside. This is the knee over pass. Alright? It's going to give us a lot more control. It does mean that this inside leg's still there for now. Yeah, but it's going to help us kind of slowly pass the guard with a little bit of control. So here, into this position. Okay? Once we're there, underhook on the far side, and then come around on the other side, around the neck on the other side, and then take the inside leg out. Okay? Just to start off with. So, what's the knee, guys? So here, posture first. None of this happens without posture. Knee in line with the spine. Yeah. A little bit of tilt of the pelvis. Knees currently facing Jason. I'm going to turn it out so the leg goes across. This leg's still on the inside. Underhook, far side. Pull over the top. Yeah, just so I've got a little bit of control and bring this leg out. So you can either bring the leg out like that, or you did the long step we did a couple months ago. You guys who remember the long step pass. Okay? Nice, slow passing. Not much movement, not much explosion. Can be a little bit boring, but it's a little more guaranteed to get certain stages of the pass. Alright, let's give it a go. 1, 2, 3. The pass is a slow pass, and it's a control pass as well. What a few of us are doing at the moment is we're kind of either skipping the combat base position, or once this knee goes on the mat, just sliding this leg straight out. As soon as I do that, that's when Jason's going to go into a half guard. Okay, so it's really important that I don't just allow him to get into a half guard. What stops that is that kind of shin going across. Okay, so the knee drops to the mat, but this foot stays on the inside. And that's what's stopping or preventing his easy half guard. Okay, so don't be lazy on this, really take the time, because from this position, I've got options. The other thing which people are kind of doing is rushing the underhook or not really establishing a good underhook. If I get out underhooked by Jason, this is where I've got problems. He can start taking me back from this position. Okay, so when I hit my underhook, it's really important I stay nice and low. So it's a lot harder for him to re-establish his underhook. If he hits his underhook, I stop and go back and then continue my pass when I get my underhook back. Okay, this leg's got to come out first. Okay, I mentioned this a couple of times, but what will help me as well is if he's not looking this way. So my bicep's going to go in and just push his head the other way. set that leg out. This foot's still in the same position for now. Okay? Only when this leg is fully out does this leg move. Okay? So from this position into whatever side control position you like to play. Okay? So just a couple more reps. Take your time. Make sure the knee's on the mat, you've got control of the bottom leg, and you've hit an underhook before you hit your pass. Okay? Let's go. 1, 2, 3.